Cook to Taylor, and again dropping short. Again the pull only bringing up the single. Sam Cook's profile has risen dramatically over the last few years, and his quality has led him into, well, onto the radar, shall we say, for international recognition. Whether it takes that final step, we shall wait and see. Charlesworth facing. Oh, that was a baseball shot.
Plenty of danger in that one. You've got to watch at the non-striker's end, no doubt about it. Charlesworth has found something. And he's found the middle of the bat on 3 occasions in a row now.
16 off the last 3 balls that Ben Charlesworth has faced. Make that 20 off 4. I haven't seen Ben Charlesworth before, but you've got to like what you see from this young man.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him have throwdowns this morning in preparation. Naturally, your timing's always good when you're having throwdowns, but he's a tall figure, long levers, and as you can see here, he's standing so still there, letting his arms do the work.
Off 4. Goes again, and he gets a maximum again. This is a demolition innings now from Ben Charlesworth. He showed what he was about on debut. Bristol in that Glamorgan game, 56 off 39. He smashed then. And it's now 46 off 18 in this one. Just a few words in Sam Cook's. Goes again, and he gets a maximum again.
How quickly has momentum changed?
Yeah.
Charlesworth on fire.
Goes full, and he goes maximum. And Ben Charlesworth is taking this innings away from Essex. Brings up his 50 off 19 balls, 4 5s and 4 6s, making up the majority of those runs.
What a way to do it. This innings has all of a sudden turned into an absolute clinic. His timing has just clicked into gear. He set the platform, and now he is enjoying the spoils.
21 off 5 balls so far in this over. He's gone. Sam Cook comes back to nab his man, but not before Ben Charlesworth has produced a quality half-century for the visitors. 52 off 20 balls, and that really is just what the Gloucestershire fans will have wanted from their young star.
Wow. There is so much going on in this first innings. It's hard to collate so far, but Charlesworth will exit the ground, having made a great impact. The bottom edge just slid across him. A disappointing way to go out after timing the ball so delightfully over the last 15 minutes. 52 are the best off just 20 balls.
But not before Ben Charles.
Gloucestershire are flying high, 3 overs remaining. Can they get this up near that 190 mark? They've got the right boundaries for it. 65 at the river end, which is what he'll be aiming for here.
Sam's coming on round the wicket to try and tighten the line up a bit.
Over from the river end, number 95,
and reduce the swinging zone, the arc. Up against another left-hander, of course, in Bracey. His first T20 game of this season's campaign.
Well, it's an exciting time to come in. You have no other option but to have fun and ride the wave that we just saw.
And he's not wasted any time as he picks that one up for 6 over deep square leg.
Well, we thought getting Ben Charlesworth out would bring a reprieve, but from ball one, Bracey has plucked it off the hip and put it in the stands. Lovely use of the pace.
And he's not wasting any time as he picks it. 600, you can enjoy the moment, can't you? He's gone high again. Paul Walter takes another one. Race's innings is short. Not as sweet as he would have liked, maybe.
Well, the strike rate's not getting impacted whatsoever. 6 off 2, pretty good. But as we mentioned, he's got a licence to thrill there coming in at the end. Into the safe hands of Paul Walter. Enjoy the moment. It's gone high again. Danny Lamb on debut. Signed a short-term loan deal. Walter takes another one. Gloucestershire out. So the first viewing for Essex and Gloucestershire fans. Bowler now with bat in hand. Balls left of this Gloucestershire innings. 165 for 6. What's the target in your mind, George? Well, I was hoping for 190 for the visitors here. Would be a really positive one, but T20s, if you can get over 180, 185, that's plenty of runs to play with. Taylor just miscues that slightly. Good bowling from Sams. No way that the bucket hands of Simon Harmer was going to miss that one. And 2 wickets in this over from the Australian left armer. Just changing the feel in many ways, having seen so many runs come off Sam Cook's last over. 7 down for the visitors. Yeah, it was a tough old innings. Jack Taylor couldn't quite get it going, striking it at roughly 100. Taylor just miscues that slightly. Good bowling from Sam. No way. Timing right too long off there. So Sam strikes again. 2 in the over now for the Australian fast.
And the new batter for Gloucestershire, number 90, Marchand de Lange.
Well, this will be interesting. Always a popular character on the circuit, Marchand de Lange. And now he has licence to swing. Hits a hard ball. Well, he would have thought, he would have had his feet up not long ago, enjoying watching his mates smack it around the park, and all of a sudden he's out there. Batted at 8 yesterday and just got 9 off his 4 balls. A great character of the game, and that's a superb over. 2 wickets from it. Daniel Sams, well done. It's 165 for 7. 2 for 8 from the Australians over there. It's going to be a left arm double pronged attack as Paul Walter's going to come on and finish his spell from this end. And this is where Simon Harmer's confidence in Paul Walter and what he can bring has been obviously enhanced from what we saw from Walter. I can't remember, I don't think he bowled that much last season at all, but in the 100 we saw him producing a great variety of delivery, and Harmer obviously believes that now is the right time to hand him that responsibility with the penultimate over. Yeah, well, Cook obviously went for a few off Charlesworth, but 2 very different batsmen at the crease now. But all afternoon, all evening, Harmer, the skipper, has shown a lot of change-ups, a lot of variety with his bowling as well. Hasn't let the batsmen settle. A lot of these spells have just been 1-over spells.
which I guess doesn't allow the batsman to get comfy too soon.
Well, it's all about the matchups, isn't it? And again, talking to Simon Harmer last week, I hadn't realised how much analysis is done with matchups. I'm big into my baseball, as you know, and that happens all the time. Well, I didn't realise it was quite as prevalent at cricket, and that is a big, heavy swing from the big South African. He'll have enjoyed that one.
Well, DeLange has stood tall and absolutely pummeled that to the leg side. He's freed the arms and given that everything he's got. A tremendous strike so early in his innings.
It's prevalent.
Cleared the foot, as a lot of tail-enders do. And he's cleared it again. He's also cleared the rope. That's a huge six.
That's gone out into Hayes Close. Somebody's going to have to go and find that, I think.
Well, well, well.
10 off 3. Marshawn DeLange, of course, entertained and impressed Somerset and Glamorgan fans in his time with those two counties now.
And he's cleared it again. He's also cleared the rope. That's a huge six. The nursing homes were in danger there.
That's gone out into
There's Walter. Takes the pace off it, but it's the same result. DeLange goes bang. 2 sixes, 2 balls. Gloucestershire on fire.
What is it about bowling from the Hayes Close end? Because the last 2 overs, must have been 40 runs now, 45 runs. You know, Sam Cook went for a lot of his final over.
And Walter.
So Paul Walter is being put through the
Takes the pace off it. Well, the boundary is 58 metres straight down the ground. DeLange goes bang. Hitting into the old nursing homes. And they've certainly cleared that with ease. And it looks as though the ball is yet to be returned as well. DeLange, he won't want his momentum slowed down. 4-6-6 from the big South African. Talking to him before the game, he's still loving it. He wants to keep playing as long as he can. As long as his body can hold up, he will keep going. And why wouldn't you when you can hit maximums like that?
Good comeback. That's good bowling from Walter.
He certainly wasn't going to allow 3 on the trot. All of a sudden that 190 is looking very achievable.
You would think so. Certainly think so now. I wonder what Danny Lamb's got in his locker. Change of pace from Walter, gets the dot ball, but it's still an impressive inning from the batting side.
That completes Paul Walters 4 overs
to get
with figures of 2 for
18
33.
off the penultimate over. They'll be happy with that, I would think.
Absolutely. One of the hardest overs to bowl is the 19th. It's when players really know to tee off and there's not that added pressure and almost pandemonium of the 20th.
Now this will be interesting. Daniel Sams is going to bowl the final over for Essex. Facing him is Marshawn DeLange. And in the 100 last year, DeLange was kept out of the Trent Rockets by Daniel Sams. The sub-story. Here we go. He's always got a smile on his face. You love it. You just love it. And he came in to the T20 campaign in that Middlesex game, came in for Safar Gohar. First appearance really since played the 4-day, I think it was against Derbyshire at the beginning of the month. So really looking to show what he's about with bat in hand. 5 balls left.
Brilliant adjustment, although it snuck wide. Geez, he beat him for pace there.
I'm in with 4 balls left. Wouldn't be surprised if he starts bringing, maybe trying to cut off the odd single. Just looking to see nothing on the leg side. Extra cover there. Short third, short fine leg, and backward point. Back of the handball, squeezed it away, and that's good work from Lamb. Making the most of that opportunity.
You squeeze that out really nicely. As a small man, you've got to access those backward of point regions, backward of square, and the spin on the ball took it away from the cover sweeper nicely. A valuable boundary late in the innings.
Sam's. Oh, the heavy bat's been brought out. Anything Marshawn de Lange can do, Danny Lamb can match. It's into the Tom Pierce stand. Just ignore that scoreboard at the bottom for the moment, because I think there's 3 balls as well. The heavy bat's been brought out. Call it cow shot corner, but it's the maximum. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he certainly got it out of the screws. Tremendous strike this late in the piece. Sams has put third man back.
2 balls left.
Oh, it was there for it as well.
And he punches the bat. The ramp was on. Final ball. 195. Can they bring up the 200?
It's been an exciting innings of cricket. Ebbs and flows all throughout. Could 195 turn into 200 and create a mental mountain for this home side? Sams to bowl it.
Danny Lamb. Can't make contact. And it's going to be 195, the final score for Gloucestershire. De Lange with an entertaining 16. It's been an De Lange's got 17, I beg his pardon. And yeah, I would think those in yellow will be happy with their lot right now. That's a very, very good score, and their highest score, of course, that they've managed so far this campaign.
That's exactly right. They've been trending in the correct direction throughout the season. They certainly would have forgotten about their 113 all-out in Game 1's disaster start, but 195 is defendable any day of the week. So they've laid a platform, and now they need to go out there and back it up with the ball. As we were just talking about, this innings had a slice of everything. They started with a bang, did Gloucestershire, an opening partnership of 50 plus, but then the Essex side were able to pull it back, bring the crowd back into it, and get wickets in bunches, which in T20 cricket is so pivotal. And then, wow, what a flurry we saw at the end. Ben Charlesworth absolutely smoked a half century off 20 deliveries, finding the rope with consummate ease. And then a lovely little cameo from Marshawn de Lange to build them a formidable total.
Let's just look through the scorecard for you. Rolifson and Dent opening very well. 61 they put on before Rolifson went caught behind off the bowling of Paul Wall. 29, that off 17 balls. Miles Hammond didn't last long before he was caught by Wesley off the bowling of Harmer. Wesley having dropped, I think it was Chris Dent or Rolifson earlier on off a relative sitter. Hammond went for 2. Ollie Price was bowled by Paul Walter for 11. Jack Taylor, the captain, stuck around for quite a while. Didn't really feel at ease, I don't think, on this track. Ended up with 26 before he was caught by Simon Harmer off the bowling of Daniel Sams. Ben Charlesworth, a very impressive innings, the top scorer in the Gloucestershire card. In the end, he was caught by Rossington off the bowling of Cook, but not before he'd racked up 52 off 20 balls, a strike rate of 260. James Bracey went for 1-6 off the first ball, went out off the second, caught by Walter off Sam's. Danny Lamb not out 12, and Marshawn DeLanger not out 17. 7 extras, 1 leg by, 2 no balls and 4 wides, in a total of 195 for 7. That's 9.75 the run rate required. That's game on. That's everything that you could have wanted from the neutral perspective, and particularly from the Gloucestershire fans.
Yeah, that's right. And what we've come to find about this ground as well, that the boundaries aren't massive. So that total is probably about par if your team's in relatively good sides, so good form. So look, it's going to be a great run chase for the locals who have turned out in their numbers. And that's why we love T20 cricket. You're in, you're out, and you have a result in 3 hours. And I'll tell you what, this second half is going to be a joy to watch.
Just to give you the bowling figures, Simon Harmer, 2 overs, 1 for 18. Daniel Sams, 4 overs, 2 for 36. Sam Cook, 3 overs, 1 for 45. Ben Allison, just the 1 over, went for 17. Paul Walter, probably the most impressive bowler in the Essex ranks, 4 overs, 2 for 33. Matt Critchley, 1 for 29 off his 4. And Shane Snater, a couple of overs from him that went for 16. Join us in 5-6 minutes when we will be back with the Essex innings. Right, good evening everybody. If you're just joining us back, it's Simon Ward here with George Harper Jr.
And number 23,
Again, apologies for the problems the network caused through the first innings. We did our best to keep you up to date with the scores, but suffice to say 195 for 7 was the score that Gloucestershire set up for Essex to chase now. Ben Charlesworth, top scorer, was 52. Opening partnership of 61 between Rolifson and Dent. Going to see now what the Essex opening pair of Adam Rossington and Feroz Kushi can do. George, take it away.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Always a fun period. The first 6 overs of any innings. Rossington, a little pocket rocket. He can really send it to all corners of the ground. Payne will be looking to strike early. Rossington, he's a joy to watch when he gets going, isn't he?
Yeah, and had a very good winter, particularly in the South African T20, the inaugural one. Really showed well.
A dainty little single early to get the innings underway. Always got to rotate the strike, and Rossington does just that.
Feroz Kushi opening with the experienced wicket keeper. Had a top score of 67 in this comp last season off just 40 balls, so has all the shots in his armoury. Just needs to get himself settled in.
Well, I was hearing from inside the camp that he really rates his ability as a football player.
Oh, really?
To some of his teammates' disagreements. So, looking forward to seeing what his footwork's like out here today.
Feroz is not short of confidence and of ability, dare I say.
Payne to Kushi. Swing of the arms, and he has gone bang over extra cover. No questions asked.
Yeah, lovely open drive, really. Don't know whether you could actually call it a drive, such was the arc of his bat.
What a strike from Kushi.
Oh, great response from David Payne. Such an experienced bowler, of course. Said he's been there, seen it, done it, got most of the T-shirts, and knows exactly how to bowl in this format and how to respond when he's been put through extra cover for 4.
Didn't give him the chance to free up the arms. Shorter on the hip and just a single there. They'll need a good start here, won't they, the home side? Get the crowd in the game, get momentum building, because 196 is a long way away.
Yeah. And there's always a nervy anticipation ahead of the first game, and they've had to wait so long watching all the other teams. I think Lancashire have played 4 games already, and this is the Essex first game, so they just want to make the most of this, and Rossington certainly has. Look at that. That's just what you want from the big man. Played for Sunrisers Eastern Cape through the winter and did so well for them, and Karachi Kings as well, of course, he's represented. And you just get the feeling now, the more experience they play around the world in this format, the more confidence they get, but more they know everybody that's in it. You know, there's no surprises then, are there?
Yeah, so many players are committing to just this form of the game, aren't they? They're making it their specialty. And this guy with the ball in his hand right now is doing just that. Marshant Alanga, wow, he was a fearful force when he came onto the world stage. A big fiery South African, used to have the tiniest of run-ups. And now he is steaming in. Oh, no worries. Kushi straight over his head. Welcome to the crease, Marchant de Lange.
And there's a few words there from the big South African. Wow, what a start that is. I cannot wait to see what this next ball is going to be. My guess is somewhere about halfway down that track.
Wow. Kushi early showing his fast hands. We saw it over extra cover, now we've seen it straight.
Here we go.
Yeah, short into the hip. Try and do that again. He's letting him know about it as well as de Lange.
Good shot, son. I don't suppose that's what he said, but...
We love a bit of South African fire, especially down in the southern hemisphere. Such a great sporting nation is South Africa. He tries a slower one. It's been whipped away, and that is a simply spectacular catch. Wow. Low down, diving forward. That is as good as it gets.
That is a brilliant catch, but Adam Rossington will be thinking that's a gimme. Full toss on leg side, and he's picked out the fielder. Well, 18 for 1 with Rossington gone for 5. Ollie Price doing a remarkable job there to get the most awkward of angles when you're going forward, wondering whether you're going to have any teeth when you get up.
That was absolutely rocketing out to Ollie Price. As you said, Simon, a bit of a freebie. So much pace on that full toss, and Rossington, well, he quite frankly snotted it straight to deep mid-wicket. But I'll tell you what, those catches are so difficult. And on a cold evening, that's got to be stinging the mitts.
Well, this is interesting now. Robin Das, just 21 years of age. Last match he played. Last match he played was his first-class debut against Ireland and managed 132 in the first inning. So he is on form. Problems here for de Lange. I think he's pulled up and he's having to go off.
And just like that, a huge loss for Gloucester, and he has pulled up so quick, without a shadow of a doubt. He knows what looks to be his right leg. Well, that is very alarming for the big South African.
Completing the over from the river end, number 64, Ben Charlesworth.
Right, just three balls from Marchant de Lange, 6, 1 and wicket. But that's all we're going to get from him, it would appear.
That is such a shame. I was looking forward to watching him live for the first time in many years. Charlesworth to clean up the scraps. And that is a tough welcome to the crease. You're relaxing at mid-off, hands in your pockets, and all of a sudden you've got to bowl 3 overs in the opening stanza.
No time to warm up for young Ben Charlesworth. Mind you, he's probably still pretty warm from his batting exploits. But yeah, you got a job to do tonight, son. No question about that. And Robin Das, well, taking full benefit of that wide starter.
Tidy second delivery from Charlesworth. Now, this obviously causes some headaches, and in particular, Jack Taylor's going to have a few now with his big strike bowler not only gone, but gone for 3.5 overs.
Yeah, and you would think that, I mean, some of his slower bowlers might be called upon here. There's a few, slow left-armers in the ranks, so not going to have the flexibility that he might have wanted.
And that's 4 more to the total. Das has gone quickly to 8 off 3 deliveries. What an interesting over that has been.
Well, it's just a different dynamic, George, isn't it? When you expect things, or certain things, from the power play, and the matchups that we were talking about earlier on, you think, oh, this is going to be fascinating to see, and then suddenly it changes. Suddenly you don't have Adam Rossington in the mix, you don't have Marchand de Langer in the mix, you've got two young Essex batters there, and it's just going to be interesting to see what tempo they're going to be looking for. And Danny Lamb coming on for his first bowl for his new county now.
Cushy on strike and pick the slower one nice and early. Well, it's been a very dramatic start to this run chase, of which they need 195, 196 for victory. A great total out here. Tuesday night. Big swing, no ding.
Nice bowling from Lamb, the former Lancashire man, taking everything off that and completely bamboozling Das.
Well, this crowd's certainly getting their money's worth. They've seen a lot of boundaries, a lot of wickets. And they're about to see another boundary. 6 more to the total. He has just lobbed that.
Well, Das's last T20 was for the Dhaka Dominators in the Bangladeshi Premier League, and he got stumped for a duck on that particular occasion. But he looks like he's just taking on that rhythm from the Ireland game and the confidence that's come with it. And may only be 21 years of age, but looks to the manner born already, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Great to watch so far. Making us feel relatively old, just 5 T20s. Cushy now. Charging. Gives them momentum to snatch a single. He's looking very active. Both of these batsmen looking active at the crease.
Cushy in particular showed well in the 50 over tournament through the summer, got more opportunity obviously with players away with 100, and just looking to cement his place within the group really, and everybody knows he's got the talent.
They are pushing for 2.
Ooh, that is going to be close.
Is this a direct hit even?
No, he hasn't given it.
Wow.
That was close. That was really, really close. Let's have a look at this. I'm not sure what angle we're going to get from our cameras, but there was a sharp intake of breath in the crowd, placed within the group, really. And
glanced beautifully.
He's got the talent.
And there was always 2 there, but just a slow and long turn from Das too.
Ooh, that is going to be close.
And it's hard to know whether that was glove or ball. There was lots going on from the keeper.
Bowling from the River End,
well,
number 6, Tom Smith.
I won't say it's a life, because it's not, but it felt like it was at that point in time. And now I mentioned one of those slow left armers into the mix, the experience of Tom Smith being brought in early by Jack Taylor.
Well, we just went from a batsman who's only played 5 T20s, try 165 for Tom Smith. A good time for experience like this.
Yeah, be it with the colours of Sussex or Surrey or Middlesex on his back, always done such a good job for his team.
Das on strike now. Tight field, opportunities everywhere. And he's picked one of those fielders out. Opportunity for a run out gone begging.
Tom Smith only took 15 wickets last season, economy just under 8, which for him was not one of his better seasons maybe, but still a quality performer.
What can Cushy do? You get the sense with this power play, he's just warming up now. Fast hands.
They'll push for 2 here. Get it easily.
And a nice golf clap from the home side. Really positive running. That's how you take down a big total. That's how you get settled into your innings well.
And that's how you get the crowd on your side. Just a bit of confidence and belief that this is feasible.
Footwork and poise to follow the check drive. It's gone all the way. Absolute class. He looks good when he plays it straight.
Feroz Kushi just has something about him, doesn't he? That is a lovely, lovely shot from the opening bat. And certainly without Michael Pepper in the ranks, they need somebody to just be able to put their foot on the accelerator at any given point, and I think that's what we're seeing from Kushi.
This one is high once again, but is it long enough? It sure is. He's got his yardage just right tonight. Six more.
Took the right club out, didn't he? Wondered at one point, but yeah. Pair of sixes for Feroz Kushi. Brings up the half century just before the end of the fourth over. Quarter of an hour of quite exhilarating batting from the young man.
Up now. Yeah, he's kept his head down nicely on that. And really throwing the hands at it. We mentioned a good start when chasing such a sizable total, and they have rocketed to 50.
Well, it's reassuring, isn't it? You see that, think back, 61 Gloucestershire put on, that was inside 6 overs. This is going a similar way, if anything, maybe slightly exceeding it. But
they are certainly ahead of the run rate, and we talked about the dimensions of this ground and the traditions around this ground. There's runs to be scored here, and they're certainly coming tonight on opening day for this crowd.
And the yardage is critical, George, isn't it? You've got to know your ground. You've got to know where you can pick up those maximums, those boundaries.
All right, last ball of the over. And maturely handled.
17 off the over.
The Essex Eagles are flying. They're 54 for 1.
Yeah, good start from Essex. Having seen Rossington disappear disappointingly for 5. Gloucestershire then saw DeLange disappear without bowling another ball. And how that is going to change things, well, who knows? May not change things immediately. We may not see it till the final quarter of this game.
Number 14,
they're going to have to fill in another 3, at least 3 overs. Charlesworth finishing off that first over from the big South African. David Payne into the attack. Oh, that was an opportunity, a tough opportunity. As Kushi really slammed it, but the Gloucestershire captain couldn't do anything. Flying through the air was Jack Taylor.
He really did strike that well. The captain, he got himself set, and I thought he'd done it well. Really waited, timed the jump beautifully, but could not pull it in. Well, it was fair flying through the air, so a chance goes begging.
That was different. Oh, that was a great catch of an improvised shot from Kushi. And, well, I'm not quite sure how it happened, because it looked like Kushi was going to go leg side. I think Payne saw him coming, changed the angle of it. He improvised a shot, and then the reaction. Have a look at this.
Yeah, great comeback. There's the first one, as you can see. A difficult chance drop, but then well hit, they followed it up with an absolute stunner. They cramped him up. He couldn't get through the shot and was forced into an absolute nothing shot. And wow, it was in slow motion, that catch.
Zafar, I hadn't noticed who the sub was for DeLange, African, and it was Zafar Gahan. What a catch this is. The attack again is an opportunity. A tough drop from the skipper. Well, try and bring you that wicket. in just a minute.
What a turn of events. An important drop and then an absolute specky of a catch.
Critchley just prodding that one through, trying to pierce that yellow ring now that's in place on the offside. Nobody out the boundary for the Essex number 4. Kushi 34 off 14 balls, 2 4s, 3 6s in that mix. Again, Das gets deceived. Not quite sure whether it came off his helmet or his bat there, but they've come through for a couple.
Wow. There's all sorts going on here this evening. Very hard to keep up. I think he's been clipped on the helmet there, which means the physio has to come out for a small concussion test.
And that's the experience of somebody like David Payne, isn't it? You know, he's done such a lot of bowling, as you alluded to earlier on, George. And I mean, I know he's in his second over, so you'd assume that Jack Taylor would like to keep a couple of overs up his sleeve if things start heating up later on. But he's certainly done everything that his captain could have asked, you know, off the 10 balls, 1 for 16. Quite happy with that. And, bemusing the youngster there.
Yeah, they got a couple away off him early, but he's really pulled it back nice with his variation and the ability to cramp up a batsman. A lot of them are trying to move their feet, but he is not giving them any room to free the arms at the moment.
Das picks him up, doesn't get full bat on it, probably just as well, because it went straight to the man just behind square leg. Actually back to face his second ball. Single, and again Payne coming round the wicket to the right hander. That's a good over from the veteran Gloucestershire paceman. 63 now on the board. There's 5 overs gone.
It's been another eventful power play. And how important is this last over of it with the fielders inside the circle? The Essex Eagles have slowed down a little bit here.
Gloucestershire 61 for 1 at this point, so it's pretty much even Stevens, George, isn't it?
That's right. Essex need Das facing as many balls of this last over as they can. It's so hard for Critchley to come in and go bang.
Danny Lamb back into the attack.
Got to look to rotate the strike where you can. Dot balls in the power play. Not ideal.
I was interested to see whether Critchley would come in at 4 or whether somebody like Tom Westley would be in maybe to anchor the innings, but that's the call.
Nicely done from Critchley to get Das back on strike. 19 from his 10 deliveries. He will be licking his lips going, I've got 4 balls to make a big difference here, and have the freedom of players inside the ring.
Yeah, you can see the yellow shirts running hither and thither with the right and left, with the 2 right-handers, but very different bowling setup as Danny Lamb fools Das completely with that softball bouncer.
I'm pretty happy that wasn't around in my day, that delivery. That is so awkward, so tough to face when you think it's coming for the head at a rate of knots and it trickles through.
And it's the confidence to bowl it from the flip side of that coin to actually, you know, set things up for what should be an easy pull.
And he's done it again.
That is good bowling.
Very, very impressive over thus far. The last of the power play. This is huge ground that Gloucester are gaining right here in these 6 deliveries.
Lamb, who's only just met his new teammates in the last day or so. Das facing. Oh, gets a fortuitous outside edge that streaks away for 4. And Danny Lamb can consider himself hard done by there. That was some excellent bowling from the new Gloucestershire man.
You can notice that after yet another wicket, all of a sudden the rhythm and momentum has left this batting innings, and now runs are seemingly quite difficult to come across. There's all the pressure now on Das as the, well, I'll say the in-batsman, but the last 3 balls.
Outside edge that streaks away for 4. Final ball of this over. Das does get hold of it. It's partially stopped, but I don't think it's going to be... creeps its way over the rope. So a couple of 4s for Essex to finish the power play with, and at 72 for 2, maybe slight advantage to the home side.
Yeah, certainly on the scoreboard, and what fortuitous last 2 deliveries there, 4-4, and Danny Lamb will be
outside edge that streaks away
absolutely gutted, because it was a superb over, and he probably has a right to feel a little bit hard done by there. A slight misfield on the last, an outside edge on the second to last. It's a tough pill to swallow at the end of a good over, but
72 for
the
2.
home side doesn't worry about that.
Now from
and I'll qualify that last statement. I think it's a marginal advantage, if that is. It really is a very tight game thus far from what we've seen now. Looks like Ben Charlesworth is going to come on from the Hayes close end. Only had 3 balls to start with. Critchley seems to be warming himself into this task. Just, you get the feeling, just having a word with Das going, keep it going, son. 27 off 14 is fine, but 27 and out is no help to anybody. Ooh. Slipped out of the side, I think. The slower ball not coming through. Free hit. So an opportunity for Robin Das to maximise things already from this over, and we've only had 2 legal balls in the big.
Free hit.
Goes. Bounce works for the fielder, but he can't take it cleanly. So a couple on the board. Plus the 2 from the no ball, obviously.
Yeah, look, I think the Essex Eagles have earned the right to maybe consolidate a little bit here. Critchley now with the power play over, he can take another 5 to 10 balls to get himself in.
That's a nice shot from Das. Strong wrist, just guiding it through. Impressive young man, Robin Das. And maybe some of these young Essex fans haven't seen him before, but new hero in the making, perhaps.
Yeah, Charlesworth putting an extra bit of zip behind that delivery. They had a nice bit of pace behind it. It was full. Look at that.
A shot from Das.
Under the eyes. Just hockey in that one.
Charlesworth dropping it short. Again, Das unable to get full bat on it. Felt like a bit of an under edge on that one. Still, the runs keep coming. That's 10 off this over thus far. Still a couple of balls left.
Yeah, you've got to look at the over, and as you said, 10 off it. They've done all the hard work.
Yeah, and there's no sense that they need to open their shoulders on anything unless it's a gimme, because you know, with that run rate at 12s at the moment, Essex innings is building as they would have wished it. As I say, that Critchley does swing through it for the single. 83, the scoreboard moves up to. This partnership just beginning to settle in now.
Yeah, very much so. A really pleasing start for the home side. 83 for 2. You take that most days of the week in this form of the game. 34 for Kushi, opening up off just 14 balls. That was fiery stuff. And then Robin Das is now 34 off 18. So they've bounced off each other very well.
Now here's a key period coming up, George, because for the first time in this T20 campaign, Jack Taylor is going to bring himself on. It's going to be fascinating to see how this works out.
Well, that's where we talked about the injury of De Lange has now forced his hand into potentially making this decision and having to make new changes with the ball.
This is where we talked about leggy to leggy. Before it was Critchley to Taylor, now it's Taylor to Critchley. Drops it short, but
gets away with it.
Yeah.
A lot of leggies you'll find adding a little extra percent of pace when they can feel it going wrong, so he's done well there.
It's the top spinner that trying to push it through. Well, that's different. Robin Dash showing his 360 all court game.
Tremendous shot. He saw the fielders were inside the ring at short third, and it was very much a premeditated shot. So he's this leg spin has got a little bit of pace behind it, and he just helped it over beautifully.
Well, that's different. Again he goes short. Oh, that was a terrific attempt. I think it was Miles Hammond who pulled off some sensational fielding yesterday in that Middlesex game. Went for it, couldn't do anything, and has parried it over. So the 6 is on the board. A terrific fielding short. Oh, that was number 88. Terrific attempt. I think it was Miles Hammond who pulled off.
For all money like 6 early, but it was so low that Hammond had the opportunity to get in position, and well, that flew over the rope once he got contact on it.
I think the contact has broken the bat. I think they're waiting for another one to be brought out. Yeah, the outfielding yesterday of Gloucestershire was very, very impressive, and ultimately led to them winning the game. Miles Hammond was right up there with the rest of them, leading the way.
Wow, it's one of those drop catches where, yes, you don't expect to catch them. It was a very difficult catch, but I think you'll be sitting there going, I got a lot of hand on that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of hand on that.
Off the over, 1 ball left to come from Jack Taylor. You would expect to see Ollie Price coming on fairly soon with his off breaks. You've got one of the likes of Chris Dent, I suppose he's another slow left armour. Graham Van Buren, of course, in the side today.
You've got a feeling that we might see the experience of Tom Smith back into the attack very soon to try and dart some left arm orthos in there. 95 on the board. Into the 8th over, so you can see the run rate. Quite happy from an Essex perspective. Eagles fans will be looking at the other side, thinking, dropping now under 8.5. As you know, in T20s, it can change so quickly. And Mystic Meg, sitting to my left, has got the right bowler. Tom Smith back into the attack. Des picks out. Captain. You can tell when a captain's nervous or struggling to hold in runs when they bring on players like this. Like, I don't think it's been that bad, but the runs have flowed so quick in the last 3 overs.
Reverse sweep doesn't produce any runs this time for young Master Das.
Whether it's mistakes or not, the boundaries have come, and he needs stability. He needs someone reliable, and with 165 T20s to his name, Tom Smith seems to be his guy.
Smith, who went for 17 off that first over, starts with 2 dots. Tightens things up around leg stump. They're going to push for 2.
Tremendously bold and equally good running. Trying to cramp him up there. You can see he's not letting him swing the hands, and also knows he's got that reverse sweep in the arsenal now. So that is very good bowling from Smith. But what Essex are doing well here is they're turning good balls into 2s.
Das opens things up to get the ball away at misfield. Means there'll be another pair there for the home side. Just the juggle down there. Let's see who's down in that corner. Is it far?
I think it's Keane.
Dent. Yes,
Dent,
Chris
sorry.
Dent. Beg your pardon.
I've just been to Kent, so
it's catchy.
It's catchy. Don't ask me why.
He's gone high. Just dropped short. Well, there was every effort being made. Hasn't stopped 50 coming up for Robert Das. The first time he's reached that landmark in the T20. 27 balls. And that's an impressive start. A century also coming up inside 9 overs.
Very good start for Essex, and well, that one was a bit of a coach killer, spinning away from the fielder, agonisingly close to a wicket, and it ends up as 4. Das, a very good 50. That'll relax him nicely.
Yep. 7 4s and a couple of 6s in that 50. So the Eagles into triple figures now. 93 to win.
Still a wicket, and it ends up as 4.
Staying at around 8.5.
Das, a very good 50. That'll
Taylor is going to try and produce now. I think it's Charlesworth into the mix. Yes. Having bowled 9 balls. If you're just joining us. Critchley says welcome back to the attack. Straight driven 4 from the former Derbyshire man. Yep. Delanger injured as he tried to bowl the 4th ball of his spell. And that is a major headache for Gloucestershire now. Critchley says welcome back to the attack.
Straight strength showing there. He has just punched that beautifully as Critchley down the ground.
Critchley into double figures. Swings it again. Has he got enough of it? I don't think he has. No, it's pulled up short. Critchley goes. Charlesworth produces the magic. And the 3rd wicket for the Eagles is down. 107 for 3 now. Essex and Critchley's gone.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite the length. He saw it there, thought it was in the slot, but couldn't quite get to the ball.
Figures.
Slightly reaching for it. He wasn't able to clear the
Swings it again. Has he got enough of it? I don't think he has.
No,
it's pulled up short.
Ever so much.
Critchley goes.
But
Charlesworth.
Critchley has unfortunately found the fielder, and he'll go to the lockers for 10.
Ollie Price again, the man with the safe hands for the visitors. Charlesworth Charlesworth picks up his first wicket of the innings, and now Paul Walter into the mix. So much expected of Paul Walter. Had the best average in the Eagles group last year, 44.88. Strike rate of 152, so some serious damage we know he can do, but he's got to get into this one first.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him last year. Really knows how to just punch it.
Already coming down the track a little, just trying to change the length.
Can really punch from the hips, and no boundaries big enough when this guy's on fire, but his team have given him the chance to take it easy at the start of this innings and earn his stripes, get his eye in, because he knows he can catch up on his strike rate, no problems.
He's already ruined his bat, trying to dig out what he turned into a Yorker effectively. A slight hiatus as we wait for yet another willow to be brought down.
That's 2 bats in about 2 overs, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, at least he won't be used to that one. But yeah, we saw his 6 hitting prowess all throughout last summer, and I do hope we get a glimpse of it tonight. I'm sure the home fans do as well, because he's the type of player, Simon, that can turn the game on its head within 15-20 minutes of good cricket, can't he?
Sure. 4 sixes in a row in that memorable game against Glamorgan. Gets off the dreaded 0. Breaks the bagel. More responsibility, if anything, now on the shoulders of Robin Das, although with somebody like Paul Walter there, it's just a matter of keeping things ticking over. Nice shot. Just seems to have the time, and that's what you know of a classy batsman, when they seem to have more time than everybody else.
Yeah, that was a joy to watch that shot, using the pace of the ball, knowing where the gaps are, and backward a square. That is such an avenue
Seems
for
to
runs in
have
all
the
forms of the
time.
game. If you can play there, you prosper.
This time he goes cow shot, gets the same thing. So a couple of 4s to finish off with. So 13 off the over from Ben Charlesworth, with the wicket, of course, of Matt Critchley.
There.
Essex fans,
Prosper.
well, with smiles on their faces. And this time he goes his cow shot, gets the same thing. So
Yeah,
a couple
rightfully
of
so. The fans are getting some Tuesday night treats out here, and courtesy of Robin Das, just 5 T20s to his name, and he's looking very comfortable. 61 from 30, and now into the attack, Ollie Price, 21 years old, born in Oxford. Great to see some fresh young talent at this level. He's just one shy of Robin Das's 5 T20s, and now he's got to face up to Walter.
Already taken 5 wickets in this T20 campaign, 3 for 21, his best in the last match yesterday.
Some nice footwork once again from Walter. It's great to see in this competition, isn't it? So much young blood from all counties.
Yeah, and getting such early opportunity to get that experience. As they say, there's no shortcut to experience.
Das now, he's got it short. It's right where he likes it, and he's gapped it. The runs are flowing for Robin Das.
Yep, 65 now off 31. Strike rate going up over 200. He's just got to keep his head now, because he is in the driving seat of this Essex innings.
Das now, he looks to reverse, and it's paid off once again. showing 360 degrees of fun.
Young fans in there really enjoying what they're seeing.
And it's paid off once again.
My mum's neighbour.
Showing.
Seriously, it is.
I believe you, this is a very small town.
He will be very happy. Rittler will be rejoicing.
Price coming round the wicket now for a change up. And it could be working. It's been skied to deep mid-wicket. And it's been taken.
That's what I'm talking about. 69 off 32, but it could have been more. And maybe should have been more. Good from Ollie Price to keep at. Having gone for 2 consecutive fours. But Das is gone. And again, the feel of this Essex innings has changed once again. But credit to him. 69 off 33 balls. A great work from the young Essex batter.
Yeah, disappointing finish. He'd already got his 2 boundaries from the over. The change-up of coming round the wicket forced him to go to that slightly longer square boundary and did not get near it. That is his new top score. And it could be working. It's been skied to deep mid-wicket. And it's been taken.
And there you can see with 88 on his back.
Superb catch. No doubt about it, as we see Tom Wesley come to the crease. All of a sudden, 2 new batsmen.
Tom Wesley's been scoring runs for fun in the red ball game, the leading run scorer in the county championship. Now, just going to transfer it to this fairly quickly, albeit the run rate is under 8 at the moment.
Yep, a very interesting part in this match, isn't it? 2 quick wickets, 2 new batsmen. All of a sudden, the very comfy-looking Essex side is under a lot of pressure as we end the over at 126 for 4.
Work from Ollie Price. Part of the Price brothers, of course, within the Gloucester Ranch brother Tom. What a day he had. I think it was against Worcestershire in the championship on the same day. He scored his maiden championship century and took a hat-trick. Doesn't get much better, does it?
I think everyone around the cricketing world heard about that.
Yeah.
What a fantastic
What a day, what a day. Right, let's see what's going to happen now. It looks like David Payne's coming back on. Yeah. Well, I think Jack Taylor hoping to prize one of these 2 out fairly sharpish to just change the mix and the feel up in this one.
Yeah, I like this play. You need to assert some dominance. You need wickets. Wesley on strike. And 3 balls. All of a sudden, the Gloucestershire fans are a bit more relaxed. They don't feel like they're going to the fence every delivery at the moment.
No, sure. Danny Lamb has shown well with the ball as well, so he's still got a couple of overs left.
And you can feel the squeeze. Things are changing out here in Chelmsford. The lights are in full flight. The crowd has just gone ever so slightly quiet for a very boisterous Essex crowd.
Yep. It's just wondering where this match is at the moment now.
Wesley flicking to the leg side, acres of space. Need to make sure that there's runs coming off most deliveries. The fielders are out. You just can't be soaking up dot balls.
No, it's the middle overs pressure that can ramp up so quickly, almost before you realise it, that then really squeezes things as you move into the last quarter of the innings. Got to be so careful.
Walter, a lovely little touch, a bit of finesse, and he's won the race but lost the war. That ball has come right to our feet.
Ben Charlesworth it was, who looked like he'd done it, but then in trying to flip it back, flipped it over his own head. He's gone for 4.
Walter, lovely little touch.
Walter finding
Bit of finesse.
tangle, just watch this.
And he's won the race but lost the one.
Going at such a pace. That's a boundary that Essex really needed right now.
Another flick of the wrist. This time cut off, but as you say, a mature cricket shot using the pace and getting rewarded with the boundary. It'll certainly let the 6'7" Walter relax a bit easier.
And even this, if this is a dot ball now, George, there's just a different feel because of that boundary.
Wesley striking it. Has he beaten the fielder? Not quite. Timing yet to arrive for Wesley, but the end of another interesting over. 133 for 4.
And Essex taking 7 off the strike bowler, the principal bowler for Gloucestershire, and David Payne. He's now only got 1 over left. Get the feeling there's going to be pressure on some of these guys now coming up. Ollie Price is going to get another over. Bowled well in the last over. Ben Charlesworth is probably going to have to come back and bowl at least, well, he can't bowl 9 balls, can he? He's going to bowl another over. Another bowler brought out from the ranks, maybe. Price, Wesley using his feet just to guide that down through mid-on.
Yeah, I love these sort of scenarios in limited overs cricket. You get them, they come so thick and fast in T20. It's hard to keep up, but there's been so much going on in this game. This partnership right here is absolutely pivotal for Essex. We mentioned it earlier, what Walter can do if he settles in. It only takes him 1 over to change the game massively. And Wesley, well, can sometimes come in higher up the order to get the runs ticking over in a more majestic way.
Sits back and pulls that through square leg. In some ways, this might sound a weird comment, but I think Tom Wesley's role now is more important than anybody else's. Because if he's still in come the end, you would think Essex would be in position to win the game.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to pick a batsman sometimes to go, look, I'm going to be here in 4 overs.
As an anchor.
It's 4 overs time.
Yeah.
And it gives the other batsman slightly more freedom. What you'll also find in T20 cricket, you might be on top on the scorecard, and you might be ahead of the run rate, but it does not take long for that to change. So, look, these guys have earned the right to where they probably can consolidate for another 8 to 10 balls, but they have to still strike, they have to still stay dominant.
That's a good over from Ollie Price. 5 singles in it, and his skipper will be very happy with the work there of the 21-year-old off-break bowler. Six fans keeping warm in the stands. It's a chilly night, but the heat will be in clapping the hands as Tom Smith is going to come back into the attack from the river end. On his first over, this is 3rd.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting where he's going to get his extra couple of overs here. He's almost going to have to bowl himself again, the skipper.
That's what I'm wondering about, because he didn't look confident in that first over, Jack Taylor. Not sure, I'm really not sure. Obviously he's got a couple from Danny Lamb still there. one, maybe two that he's got to find.
And if there was ever a time, it probably is almost now, because the batsmen aren't quite timing it, they're still finding their rhythm and try and sneak it over.
Well, Charlesworth, of course, has had to finish that over, so effectively he's lost 3 balls of what he could have used the young right armour for. And I look at that mix, I'm just not sure where Jack Taylor's going to go with this. Bit of a conundrum.
Very much so. He's got one more over with Payne, another 1 point, well, another 2-1 for Charlesworth, hasn't he?
That's what I'm saying, he's lost an over effectively, hasn't he?
2 for Danny Lamb.
Walter gets a thick outside edge, and that's going to squirt away for 4 through third man.
A bit of relief, no doubt about it. A good time in the over to get a boundary as well. 3 balls to turn a good over into a great one.
Walter gets a thick outside edge. Picks that one up nonchalantly off his legs.
Yeah, so the skipper just needs to find 1 over from somewhere. If everyone bowls their allotment, it's in the attack now. And it might have to be himself.
Over. Tries to get more than the single out of that.
You can sort of feel that it's a very poignant moment. The crowd are just going a bit quiet. They're talking, they're humming.
They're watching intently, that's for sure.
It's a great opening game for the locals here in Chelmsford. A great opening game.
Well, that's 1,000 T20 runs for Essex from Paul Walter now in his career special moment for the 28-year-old. Nicely as well. 3,000 T20 runs with his score, so special milestones for the Essex batsmen right now, but that will be at the back of their minds now, because focus is what they're going to have to do. Looks like, I think, Ollie Price is going to continue. He's confident at the moment, as I said, took 3 for 21 in his 2 overs yesterday at Merchant Taylor's. Another wicket now. Walter taken through the gate. Paul Walter with the stance, with the bat well outside off stump, and Ollie Price producing that spearing Yorker that took out the big man. That's a big wicket for Gloucestershire right now.
That is absolutely massive in this match. He has darted that one into the extra pace. And he's looked to play that Walter far too square. Has big Paul Walter. He'll be disappointed. He just set up a great innings. 12 balls. He leaves for 15.
Enter Daniel Sams. First time he's held a bat in anger since the end of February. Used at all by the Lucknow Super Giants in the IPL. Marcus Stoinis, I suppose, the Australian all-rounder spot within that group.
Well, that is huge. Ollie Price, take a bow, because as we were saying, he had earned the right to have fun. And sometimes one of the, wow, every time you go out, there's so many different ways of how much that can annoy you, but he batted so maturely, and you could see that he was about to start teeing off and having some fun.
Just looking at that run required rate, just pushing itself north of 9. It can change very quickly, of course it can. Right now, it's Gloucestershire unable to make that catch. Jack Taylor just running short. Sam's getting away with one, picking up a couple.
Well, he didn't want to muck around there. Daniel Sams, he's got a high score of 98, which his team would fiercely love some of that tonight, but it's a very interesting shot, a couple of balls into your innings.
Price going round the wicket now. Sam's picking him up though. Advantage Essex. Sams gets the maximum.
That's more like it. Daniel Sams, if it's in the arc, it's out of the park. A staple.
Price going round the wicket now.
Log over cow, but it's done with
Sam's picking him
style.
up though.
Held his shape beautifully.
Advantage Essex. 50 on the board for the Eagles. Well, a wicket and 8 runs of that Ollie Price over, so pretty much even Stevens, you would say. Pull Walter out of the mix.
Very much so.
The Eagles keeping up pretty much the run rate, so as you were.
Yeah, I think that wicket at the start of the over was massive. To get Walter out just as he was starting to build a nice innings.
Price going round the wicket.
Look, Daniel Sams, we know he's more than capable with the bat.
Sam's picking him up though.
Tickle under 150, so
Advantage Essex.
he won't need much if he is to go well here tonight.
Final quarter of this Eagles innings. Danny Lamb back into the attack from the river end. A couple of overs left in his locker.
Yeah, this is a big moment for today's debutant for Gloucestershire. 2 very important overs he's going to bowl.
for the Australian.
We certainly have seen it all tonight. I was about to say we've seen some spectacular fielding, but we've also seen a couple of very forgettable moments as well.
Mr. Wesley will have one of those that you won't want to remember.
As the captain comes to the crease, a great time for a leader to join us. Simon Harmer, 34 years old, from Pretoria. He's known for his right arm off spin, but 150 T20s under his belt. He's the type of guy you want to come in and try and close this game. 20 runs required for victory.
And the most famous runs in Eagles history, of course, with the winning runs in that game against Worcestershire in 2019 in the final.
Absolutely.
What's he got now?
A bit of confusion all around.
Yes, no, maybe.
The fielder didn't even know what to do there. All of a sudden there was 4 or 5 players on pause.
Well, if that doesn't highlight the nerves and tension, nothing does.
The nervous tension causing a few brain fades. Harmer getting off the mark. It would take something special now for Gloucestershire to pull something out of the bag, and wow, all of a sudden they've posted a great total of 196. Probably should have been a tickle over 200, but they could very quickly be just 1 from 4 for their season now.
Yep. How quickly that can change. Well, mind you, you remember Hampshire last season, I think they lost their first 4. What happened to them? I think, mentioning 2019, I've got the feeling the Eagles lost, if not all of them, the majority of their opening games. There's so many games that come so thick and fast, you can turn it around so quickly.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the logjam of cricket once this season started. Harmer doing what he needs to do. That is the end of another intriguing over. A wicket and 9 from it. And his pain spell done and dusted. 179 for 6.
Well, might be a good chance to mention that thanks to Woodland Group, our Vitality Blast shirt sponsor, they are going to be donating £1 for every run scored by the Eagles. Money raised will be going to the Panathlon charity, who gives thousands of young people with disabilities and special education needs every year the opportunity to take part in competitive sport. So big thanks to the Woodland Group. We'll be hoping that tonight they're going to be giving £196 at least to the Panathlon charity.
Slower one, and Matty Lamb, you can feel the anguish, the pain. His last over was one to forget, but as I said, I didn't think he bowled too badly, so you can see how desperate he is to impress today on debut.
Just 16 left for the Eagles to get in the two overs, 5 balls left, so that wouldn't be an issue, you would think. So Gloucestershire are going for the 4 wickets. They've got to. It's the only way they're going to get success here tonight.
Oh, Wesley beaten for pace. And now the keeper's beaten for pace as well. Heartbreaking stuff. Runs that you do not want to see go begging.
And wides too. Grant Rollifson, I'm not sure what chance he had with that. Need to see how that came out of Danny Lamb's hand, but that is just what they didn't need. And a Brucey bonus for the Essex Eagles right now.
Wow, it seems to me for poor old Gloucestershire that it's been an evening of coach killers. So many things, they've started to pull this game back, and then the smallest errors and the biggest boundaries seem to pop up when they least want them.
Having to adjust things now because there's no other course. 11 needed now.
It's been a very well-timed run chase. 10 runs now required. And there's still 2.5 overs of deliveries to do it with. They need to start bringing some fielders in. Force them to play some peculiar shots, but the home crowd here is sitting pretty comfy as I speak. It looks like they're changing the field.
You're damned if you do and damned if you don't with field placings in this situation, aren't you? You're trying to hold the singles in with so many balls still left.
That means they've only got protection one short third, which means he has to bowl very straight.
They've got a cover point there. They've got a fine leg, a short fine leg in here. 2 out leg side, 3 out leg side for the swing. Deep mid off in place as well.
He'll be bowling straight. Good fielding, much required. Harmer struck that beautifully, but now on 25 off 19, Wesley is on strike.
And the runs needed goes into single figures. Suit Essex down to the ground now. If they can just knock off these remaining 8 runs. Been a tough debut for Danny Lamb. 45 runs off his, well, best part of 4 overs. 1 ball left to come.
Slower, and that's all they need to do. They just need to find the gaps and tick it over. 189 for 6, just 2 overs remain, and 7 runs to win.
Yep, difficult debut for Lamb, 4 overs for 46. Pressure was always going to be on the bowling attack of Gloucestershire once Marshawn Delaga fell lame after just 3 balls.
And bowling the 19th over from the Hayes Close end, number 6, Tom Smith.
A couple of overs left. Tom Smith is going to bowl the penultimate one. George, I'm going to get you thinking while I'm talking, because you are going to pick the Woodland player of the match. No pressure, mate.
There's been so many moments throughout this game.
Yeah.
There's been some superb highlights. You look back at Chalmsworth in the first innings, his 52 off 20 seems like so long ago, doesn't it?
Yep. I'm glad I'm not picking it. Smith to bowl to Eagles captain Simon Homer.
Well, it's hard not to choose a player from the winning side, which looks an awful lot like the Essex Eagles at the moment. And I'm going to say that it might be his first man of the match in just his 6th T20 game. Robin Das, he lit things up with 69 off 33 at the top of this innings. Used 360 degrees of the county ground.
Ricochet almost working for Gloucestershire then, but Wesley alert enough to make sure his bat was grounded.
So the youngster, 21 years old, is the man of the match for me tonight.
Yeah, good call, good pick. I think you're right. His innings has been instrumental in putting Essex in the right position, and the likes of Tom Wesley able to capitalise on it to steer them home, or what looks like it. Am I being presumptive? I don't think so, with 6 needed now. no need to take a risky second.
Yeah, gone are the days that 140, 150 is a good T20 total. This has been in pretty easy fashion at the end of the day.
Just shy of 400 runs we've seen this evening.
And that's exactly what you want, isn't it? When you come down to watch cricket at a great club like this, you see nigh on 400 runs on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
It's entertainment plus, and plenty of wickets as well, we might add.
Some brilliant fielding. Excellent fielding as well. I'm just glad we've had an Essex Gloucestershire game that's actually finished. This will be only the third game in 10 encounters that we've actually been able to get to the finishing line.
They've had a horrible run of luck.
Chips out. Well, with 4 left to win. Maybe it's too little, too late for the visitors. Simon Harmer goes for 6. Setting up something different to finish on.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. It's never a nice feeling to not finish things off, especially as the captain. But does that just give a tiny ray of hope? Never give up in this game. It's a funny one.
Shane Snater will be the new man in.
The new batter for the Essex Eagles this evening.
It looks to be Ollie Price
Shane Snater.
Changing ends and bowling the final over. Can he get some wizardry?
Well, yesterday Gloucestershire had to Harmer, 7 chips out. Over it was Matt Taylor with 4 left to win. And he's having to defend almost half of that. Just 4 runs needed for the Eagles. Tom Wesley to face the young off-break bowler.
Wesley just needs to hog the strike here. Such an awkward thing to do, to bring in the field and try and squeeze something out as he looks to go square.
That's
and
it.
He's found the gap. The Essex Eagles are flying high in 2023. They are 1 from 1.
Yeah, Tom Wesley making life easy there. No sense of any pressure building up. And as I said, when he came in, perhaps the most important character within that Eagles innings, make sure he was there at the end, and so it proved with the 31 not out. Robin Dass's innings so vibrant and enjoyable, and rightly getting the Woodland Group Player of the Match. Gloucestershire feel that so near and yet so far it could have happened. They were hamstrung in many ways by that injury to Marshall Malaga early on. Who knows whether that would have changed things. But the Eagles start their Vitality Blast T20 campaign with victory. I'm going to go and try and get a word with Robin Dass, and I'll lead you with George Harper Jr. to go through things right now.
Yes, what an evening, what a way to start. The lights are shining down. The song is obviously Sweet Caroline. Why wouldn't it be? What an evening for these local fans. They've turned out in their numbers and they've been on absolute fire. Handshakes all round. We have been treated to nearly 400 runs tonight. You can't ask for much more. Simon Harmer leading his team out. Thank you very much to our umpires of the evening, Chris Watts, Mark Nill, match referee Will Smith upstairs. 196 was the target, and they did it with 5 overs to spare. Let's look back at the start of the day. There's been plenty happening, there's no doubt about it. Charlesworth, he really kicked this match into gear. 52 off just 20 deliveries. Once he found his stride, there was no stopping him. Contributions from his teammates there, but the bowling of Walter and Sams capturing 2 wickets apiece. A couple of loose deliveries meant that their economy wasn't quite where they wanted it to be. Skipper with a nice one for 18 there, that can't go unnoticed. As we head to the second innings, and much like Gloucestershire, the Essex Eagles started in style. Man of the match performance tonight from Robin Duss, 69 from 33. Very impressive stuff. A very pleasing opening evening, no doubt about it. They've been a busy cricket ground. They've had internationals, they've had everything, and today it was a fresh pitch.
That's Robin, first out the blocks. It was so important for the Eagles to get that victory. How does it feel right now?
Very good, very good. Yeah, a good all-round performance on a good wicket. I think we did quite well in the field to restrict them to under 200, and then a really good chase as well.
And not bad innings from yourself, 69 off 33, I think?
Yeah, no, happy with it. Started nicely and then just kept on going. Luckily, it was a good wicket, so I could just trust myself and back my options.
And Essex backing you. I think Michael Pepper hurt his hand yesterday, so when did you find out you were actually playing?
Playing today. I found out I was playing today when I got to the ground.
Experience is invaluable. There's no shortcuts to it. How important is being able to play in a game like that, produce a performance like that for you as a 21-year-old?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's quite big. Obviously, it takes a lot from the dressing room as well to give you all the confidence to go out and perform on the pitch. So I think it's testament to the environment we got around. Yeah.
Well, it was great to watch. Today's Woodland Group Player of the Match, Robin Duss. We got the presentation about to take place. First of many, I'm sure. So we're on a roll. We've started 1 out of 1. We hope to see you all back here on Friday. We make it 2 out of 2. Back-to-back victories is what we're looking for in week 1 of the Vitality Blast T20. Good night.
Back-to-back victories would be mighty fine. The Essex Eagles would certainly enjoy that. As we look at the card once again, 195 was chased down with consummate ease in the end. Wesley chipping in with a very important 31 from 23. But what a day it has been. A fantastic Tuesday night here at the Cloud County Ground in Chelmsford. The Essex Eagles are 1 from 1. We'll see you again on Friday.